Hello everyone, welcome to ManageEngine OpManager's free training series. We are so glad to have you all here. So without any further wait, let's get into part 2, that is network and IT infrastructure monitoring. So this would be the today's agenda. So we'll start off by explaining how device and monitor templates work in OpManager. Then we'll move on to monitoring features that can be applied for each monitor devices, that is your availability and performance monitoring. And then we'll move on to server performance monitoring. Then we will also speak about network performance monitoring, virtualization monitoring, and at the end, we'll end with the IT infrastructure monitoring. So what happens after you have discovered your devices on OpManager? So what happens is OpManager gathers all your device informations with the credentials which you have provided. So each and every device will have a unique identifier, which we call it as SysOID. So with that unique identifier, OpManager identifies the model, the product type and manufacturer of the device, and it classifies it into the respective category of the device. So once the device is onboarded, so this is what your inventory page will look like. So let me take you to the product and let me show you how it looks like. So once all your devices are onboarded, your inventory would look similar to the page which you are looking in, wherein you will see the device IP, what is the type of the device, which category does it belongs to, whether it is a server or is it a firewall or is it an access point, and along with the vendor details. So once you click on the respective device, then here you can view the complete device details. So wherein you can view what is the availability, what is the monitoring interval set for this device. The complete snapshot page has the details of the devices which you have just onboarded. So what are all device templates? So OpManager matches all these discovered devices with the template, and it autofills in based on the category, type, and vendor. So how does this work? It is all because of this device templates, which is already configured in OpManager, which is an out-of-box templates, which is already available. So by default, we have 11,000 plus device templates. We also allow you to create custom templates for newly released models of various devices. And you can also configure all your performance monitoring, what are all the metrics which you need to monitor using this device templates itself. So let me take you to the product and let me show you how to access these device templates and how to start configuring these device templates. So in order to access device templates, you'll be navigating to settings, configuration, device template. So this is where all the device templates are. So for each and every model of the device, there would be a matching device template. So as I have explained, so we have close to 11,000 plus device templates, which we keep on adding during every release of the OpManager version. So let's say if I wanted to configure a Windows 2019 server, so I'll just click on the Windows 2019, and this is where the complete configurations are. So what are the metrics which I need to monitor? Everything is already configured here. However, in case if you wanted to change any configurations or if you wanted to modify any configurations, you can do it from this particular page itself. So coming back to the device templates. So next, what do we have? We have monitor templates. So similar to the device templates, we also have monitor templates wherein we have specific monitors for your KPIs monitoring, the processes, the services, files and folders, various aspects which covers all your server monitoring aspects. So I'll switch on to the product and I will show you one by one on how to configure this. So first thing is how to configure your device templates in case if you wanted to make any changes. So first thing is here you can go ahead and click on add, and this is where your complete KPIs will come into place, wherein you can just choose whatever the KPI which you wanted to monitor. You can just click on the checkbox and you can click on OK. So this is one way where you can do all these centralized configuration. The other option is you can also navigate to settings, monitoring. Here is where the performance monitors are. So here also you have the list of KPIs which you can assign it to the respective devices for which the monitoring will happen. So here you can just select which KPI which you wanted to monitor. For example, if I wanted to monitor the CPU utilization, I can just click on CPU utilization here. I can configure the monitoring interval. I can also configure the threshold values, and I can associate it to the respective device as well. So the complete configuration is also present here. In case if I wanted to import a new device template, so let's say there is a new model which has been released in the market, and you have purchased the respective model. In case if you wanted to create a custom device template, then you can click on add template here. We also allow you to create new device template, and this can also be created based on the details which you have. That is the most important detail which we need to have is the sys object ID, which is the unique device identifier, which is what I explained you previously. Or in case if you already have a device template which is readily available, or in case if you have worked with our support team and in case of our support team has shared you the device template, then you can also import the device template by using this import templates option, which is also available. So I hope this helps. So now going to the monitor templates, as we discuss here, we have a multiple level of monitoring available. That is a process monitoring, services monitoring, file monitoring, everything. So we will go through one by one monitoring in depth on how to configure it so that it will be useful for you to follow as well as for you to configure it for your devices as well. So now first let's start with the process monitoring. So how to access process monitoring and how to configure the process monitoring. So once you go back to the respective device from the inventory page, so under monitors tab, you have the complete list of monitors. So this performance monitors is what we configured from the device template. And the same can also be configured using the settings monitoring performance monitors action. So the next thing you see here, the Windows service monitoring process service monitoring, this is which I'm going to explain you in depth today. So the first thing is we'll start with the process monitoring. So in case if you wanted to monitor the various processes which is running in your server, so you can just come back to this page here. You can click on actions, you can click on add monitor, and immediately OpManager will automatically pull in the list of processes which is running in the respective server. You can just click the respective process which you wanted to monitor. For example, I wanted to monitor the Postgres DB process which is running in my machine. So I can just click on the respective process ID and I can just click on add, and automatically OpManager will start monitoring this particular process in terms of the availability of the process as well as the CPU memory, the memory usage which is consumed by this particular process as well. So the next is service monitoring. So service monitoring is nothing but your port monitoring. So in case if you have any applications which is running on a specific TCP port, and in case if you wanted to monitor that particular port, then you can make use of this service monitoring. So how to configure it? So you can just click on the service monitors icon and you can click on actions, add monitor. Here you can just provide the service name. So let's say if I wanted to monitor one of a custom service which is running on a specific custom port. So let's say, for example, I'll take DNS. And in case if DNS is running on port 23 in my environment, then I can just specify the port number here. I'll also specify the time mode. And once I click on save, then automatically, okay, I guess DNS is already added. So automatically the monitor will be added here, similar to how I have already added SNMP. So this is one way wherein if you wanted to add this particular port for this particular device alone, However, this can also be done in bulk basis also. So you can go back to settings, monitoring. So similar to performance monitors, here also we have service monitors wherein you can configure the complete list of various service names and port numbers by using this add option. And then you can click on the associate option and you can just select the list of devices for which you need to monitor the DNS or any other service monitors which are configured, and you can just move the devices from left to right and you can just click on save. So two options are there for you to configure the monitoring. Either you can do it in bulk by accessing this page, or you can do it for the specific devices also by navigating to the respective device from the inventory page and choosing the respective option. So we talked about process monitoring and service monitoring. So one another thing which is also there is the Windows services monitoring. So let's say you have critical Windows services which is running or which is hosted on your servers, and in case if you wanted to monitor those Windows services and if you want an alert to be triggered as and when the service goes down, then that can also be configured. So similar to process monitoring, you have Windows service monitors where once you click on actions add monitor, it will automatically pull in the list of services which is running on the respective Windows server. So it will give you the complete list of services along with the current status of that service also. So let's say if I wanted to monitor the data sharing service, so I can just click on the data sharing services and you can click on add. So immediately the Windows service will be added here. Next thing is how to configure this Windows service. So you have this small edit icon here. So once you click on this edit icon, so there are different actions available. So in case if the service goes down, whether I wanted to restart this service itself automatically, that option is also there. Or if I wanted to restart the server itself, or I just want an alert, I don't want OpManager to perform any other extra action. So depending upon the requirement, I can configure it and I can just click on save. And we also have process monitors, which is what I have already explained you. But in case if you do not want to use the process monitor, but you just wanted to know the complete list of processes which is running in the respective server, so you can also access this active processes tab. Sorry, I'll take you to a different device and I'll show you. So in case if you wanted to just view the list of active processes which is running on your server, so you can also access this active processes tab, which will give you the complete details of your process along with the CPU and memory consumption which is consumed by the respective processor also. And in case if you want alerts, like let's say the Chrome.exe is consuming 29% of CPU. In case if this Chrome.exe process is consuming a higher CPU, let's say it's consuming more than 80%, if you want alerts for specific consumption of CPU or memory for a specific process, then yes, you can easily configure that by accessing the process monitors again, which is what I would have explained you previously. So only thing which you need to do is once you have added the process, you can just click on this edit icon. Here you can configure the threshold value. So what is the threshold value which is acceptable, and what is the value for which you need to receive an alert in case if it is consuming a higher level. For example, if I want an alert whenever the CPU is above 80%, which is consumed by that specific process, I'll just directly configure 80 as my CPU value here. So with this, you can easily get to know which process is resource oriented, which is consuming a maximum resources, and take the respective action. I hope this is helpful for you. So similar to some Windows service processes and service monitors, we are also having script monitors. So in case if you wanted to perform something which cannot be done by using the Windows credential or by using a SNMP credential, then we also have script monitors in place. And we also have files and folder monitors also in place. I'll explain one by one in depth so that it will be helpful for you. So performance monitors is what we spoke. Yeah. So coming back to script monitors. So let's say that you have an SSL certificate which has been hosted on one of your server. And if you wanted to know the expiry date of that SSL certificate, then obviously that cannot be monitored by using the credentials such as the WMI or CLI credential. However, in case if you have a script which will give you the expiry date or the number of days remaining for the respective certificate to get expired, then you can configure the script directly here in OpManager and make use of the script monitoring functionality. So you can navigate to the respective device in case if you wanted to specify, in case if you wanted to monitor it only for that particular device alone. Choose script monitors. You can just click on actions, add monitor, specify the script name and the interval. You can specify the command line and script body and where you wanted to execute it, whether you wanted to execute it from your local server or whether you wanted to execute it from a remote machine, that is your monitored server. This option also we have for agent-based devices as well, and you can configure the threshold values. And once you click on save, then automatically the script would be monitored. So this is for a single device-based configuration. However, if you wanted to do that in bulk, you can go back to settings, monitoring, script templates. So here we have some default scripts to get the thread count of the processes, to get the cache memory. So here you can just go and click on add, and you can follow the same steps which I shared earlier, and you can configure the script monitor here. Now going back to the device. So the last but not the least, we have file monitoring as well. So in case if you wanted to monitor your content of the file, or if you wanted to monitor your file size, or in case if some modifications has been done in any of your file. So in case if you wanted to monitor all these changes which is happening in your file and folder level, you can click on this file monitors, which is available under the monitors tab. You can click on add monitor, and depending upon your requirement, you can just choose the respective monitor and start configuring it. Let's say, for example, in case if this particular file or folder has increased, the size has been increased to more than 10 MB. So I can just configure the threshold value as 10, and then I can specify the unit as MB. I can specify which file path is that, and I can just click on save, so that automatically the respective file will be monitored in terms of size. So this will also be useful for you whenever it comes to monitoring your services. Whenever it comes to monitoring your service. So critical files and critical monitors can be monitored by using these two functionalities, which is available in OpManager. So I think this is pretty much when it comes to monitoring your servers, but we also have many other things such as hardware monitors, which we will come in one by one. Last but not the least, we have URL monitors as well, which I forgot to explain to you. I apologize. So in case if you have a specific URL, which you have hosted it on a server, and in case if you wanted to monitor the URL in terms of reachability or in terms of response time, then you can configure the URL monitors as well. So URL monitors can be configured by navigating to settings, monitoring, URL monitors. So here we have an option to add it. So here you can specify what is the URL monitor. Let's say, for example, if I wanted to monitor the ManageEngine website itself, so I can just type ManageEngine. I can specify the website here, and how frequently I wanted to monitor. So I can specify the monitoring interval, and I can just click on save, so that the monitor will be added, and immediately the availability and response time of this particular URL will be monitored. So with this, we are done with server performance monitoring. Now it's time that we take a look into the OpManager's network performance monitoring feature. So when it comes to network, you can do a lot of things with OpManager. So you can monitor the uptime, you can monitor the performance, you can monitor the hardware metrics. So you can monitor your interfaces, the bandwidth utilization. So these are all some of the things which we have, which are also the key things when it comes to network monitoring. So we'll go through one by one in depth, similar to how we saw for server monitoring. So the first thing is interface monitoring. So as soon as you have added your device, the interface which is belonging to the respective devices will also be added. So you can monitor the interface health, the traffic rate, the errors, the discard rate, as well as you can also group all your interfaces also as one single group. So let me take you to the console and let me show you how to do all these things. So the first thing, once you go back to inventory, we have a dedicated tab for interfaces wherein all your interfaces across your devices would be listed here. In case if I wanted to view the interfaces only for a specific device alone, then you can just go to inventory devices. You can just click on the respective device, and then you can click on the interfaces tab, wherein all the interfaces belonging to this particular device alone will be listed. So here you can just click on the respective interface for which you wanted to get the data. For example, if I wanted to view the availability, the graphs in terms of traffic, total bytes transferred, error rate, and discard rates, then automatically all the details are available here. And in case if you wanted to configure these interfaces in bulk, then similar to what we have for devices, that is the device template, we also have interface templates as well. So how to access interface templates? So you can navigate to settings, configuration, and here we have interface templates wherein you can specify what is the respective interface type. So you can click on the respective type and you can configure the monitoring interval. In case if you wanted to get alert whenever the traffic utilization is crossing a specific threshold, so you can configure the threshold as well in terms of utilization, in terms of error rate, as well as in discard rate, and you can just apply it to all the devices as well. So once the network monitoring is done, then next comes to monitoring your distributed network environment. So let's say you have multiple development centers, which is in turn connected to your headquarters. So in such cases or in such architecture, you may face latency issues whenever you perform a data transfer between your headquarters to your development center, or whenever you make a voice call, the call may get dropped due to a huge packet loss. So in those cases, you can make use of the IPSLA monitoring feature in present in OpManager, which will help you to monitor your WAN RTT, your VoIP of your network, and you can quickly identify where the bottleneck is and take corrective measures to fix that. So this IPSLA monitoring OpManager leverages the Cisco IPSLA to synthesize your VoIP and WAN traffic. So let's see how this works in OpManager. Let me show you in the product on how to configure it and how to see the statistics as well. So this can be accessed by navigating to network IPSLA. We have a dedicated tab for IPSLA, wherein I have already added a VoIP monitor and one monitor. So in case if you wanted to add either one of this, you can just click on the add VoIP monitor. You can specify the monitor name, the source device, the source interface, port number, and the destination. So there are some prerequisites for the IPSLA to work. The first thing is that the end device should be a Cisco device, and we need to have the both SNMP read and write credential. Once this is available, then you can go ahead and configure this. And once the monitor is added, then you can monitor the complete jitter, the latency, the packet loss. Everything is available here by default. So similar to this, we also have network path analysis, so which is what I'll be explaining you next. So in case if you wanted to monitor the complete path and if you wanted to know where the problem lies, then you can use the network path functionality also. So let me explain you how to configure this, and let me explain you how to get, how to identify in which hop the packet is dropping so that you can take the respective corrective measures. So here the network path analysis can be configured by navigating to settings, configuration, settings, monitoring, network path analysis. So here you can click on create new path. So we have both options now. So either you can choose the OpManager server itself as your local machine, or in case if the path is from a remote machine, then you can also choose the remote machine, and you can specify which is the remote machine as well. And you can choose the destination. You can type in the destination IP address and obviously the monitoring interval. Once this is saved, then it will look somewhat similar to this one, which I'm just showing you here. So here you can just tap on the first path and you can see what is the latency, what is the packet loss. So for each and every hop, you can get to know the complete details, so that this will be helpful for you to analyze where the packet is getting dropped, in which hop it is getting dropped, and you can take the corrective actions out of it. So coming back, so next is the wireless monitoring feature, wherein you can monitor your wireless LAN controller, your wireless access points. You can track the traffic statistics, your connected clients across your access points, and detect rogue SSIDs as well, which are trying to connect to your WC devices. So how to configure your wireless controllers is what I'll be explaining you today, or how to view them. So you can access your wireless devices by navigating to Network, Wireless tab. So here is where your complete wireless devices will be listed here. So for example, if I wanted to view my controllers, I can just click on the respective controller. Sorry, my bad. I'll go back to wireless. Yeah. I can click on the Meraki controller or the Meraki security device, and I can view the complete statistics. So for example, let me go to the Meraki controller itself. So wherein I can get to know the complete details of the network. So what are all the SSIDs, what are all the access points, how many clients are connected to the access points, the complete details, I will be able to gather it. And I can also configure the performance monitors also for which, and the dedicated WLC reports are also available. So if you go to reports of manager, we have dedicated WLC reports also. So the AP details, the availability of the access points, everything is available here. And yeah. So moving on to the virtualization monitoring. So we have seen about network monitoring here. So when it comes to virtualization monitor, so we do support various virtualization vendors, and we support VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix, and Zen. And in terms of performance monitors, you can monitor your CPU, your memory, the data store free space, your disk, as well as there will be a lot of events which is happening on your virtualization level also. So in case if your VMs are powered on or powered off, you can get the complete details. And obviously, you will also get the dedicated dashboards for your VM devices as well as VM topology maps as well. So let me take you to the product and let me show you how to access all these things. So the first thing is how to configure the alerts for your VMware events. So in case if the VM gets powered off or VM gets powered on, or in case if the VM is moved from one VM to one vCenter to another vCenter, that is vMotion. So in case if you wanted to have alerts for this, then you can go back to settings, monitoring. So here we have a dedicated tab called VMware events, where almost all the events has been listed here with along with the severity as well. So depending upon your requirement, you can tweak the severity of the events also, and you can configure it across your vCenter. So all your virtual devices will be available under this virtualization virtual servers tab. So in case if I wanted to view my vCenter, I can just click on the vCenter, which will provide me the complete holistic detail of the host and the complete details of VM, and whether the VM is powered off, whether the VM is powered on. And we also provide monitors for monitoring your vCenter as well as your host and vCenters as well. The data stores which is associated with your vCenter is also available here. So the complete details you can view it from this particular page. Yeah. So as I specified, we do support multiple vendors. So we do support for Hyper-V, Nutanix, and Zen, not only restricted to VMware alone. So how to see or how to access these devices? So under virtualization, we have categorized it. So in case if you wanted to view a Hyper-V device, you can just click on Hyper-V, and your hypervisor will be automatically added here because you would have already done in the past session. So you can view the details of your hypervisor as well. Similar for your Nutanix as well. So in case if you wanted to access your Nutanix host, so the host itself will give you the complete details of your virtual machine as well as your data stores present also. So that with this, you can get the complete details of both your Nutanix and the complete virtualization environment which is present in your infra. So coming to the IT infrastructure components, that is monitoring other things apart from your virtualization. So we have few things such as monitoring your storage devices, monitoring your tape libraries, your fabric switch management, and we also support top storage vendors such as IBM, HP, Dell, your SAN switches, and we have dedicated storage reports as well. So I hope you would have added your storage devices as well by discovering all your storage devices as mentioned in my previous webinar. So once your storage devices are added, then you can access all your storage devices by clicking on this storage tab. So under storage tab, you can see RAID, tape library, and FC switches. So in case if you wanted to access one of your RAID devices, you can just click on the respective device and it will give you the complete details of your disk, your LAN details, as well as we also have some metrics which can be monitored for your storage devices as well. So this can also be configured similar to your performance monitors, and thresholds can also be configured depending upon your requirement. And we also have a dedicated dashboard for your storage devices as well. So you can access dashboard where you have dedicated dashboard for your virtualization devices, for VMware separately, Hyper-V separately, Nutanix separately, as well as now for your storage devices as well. So this dedicated dashboard will be helpful for you to see how your storage devices are performing across your infra in terms of capacity utilization as well as in terms of your disk IO rate as well. And when it comes to reports, yes, we do have dedicated reports for your storage device, which can be accessed by navigating to reports, OpManager, storage reports. This is where our out-of-box dedicated reports are also available, which can be used as on need basis. So the next most important thing is hardware monitoring, which is often overlooked side of your network monitoring. So assume that you are monitoring your network devices, you are monitoring the performance metrics of your network devices, but it is also useful that you need to monitor, or it is also essential that you need to monitor the hardware of your servers or your network devices as well. So let's say, for example, the performance of your devices would have been great, but let's say the cooling fan isn't functioning properly in your devices, then it may lead to increase in the temperature, and that increase in temperature will affect your latency, or it may affect the performance of your devices as well. So you can also, hardware monitoring is also one of the most important feature, wherein we can monitor the fan speed, the voltage, the temperature, and you can also get the color coded graphs also. And in case if something goes wrong in hardware level, OpManager also raises alarms for it. So how to view this hardware monitoring? So you can navigate to your respective device. For example, let me take you to one of the switches. So in case if I wanted to know how this switch is functioning in terms of hardware level, so I can just click on this dedicated hardware tab, wherein I can see the complete power. So I have 3 power sensors, and this is the current power, and I can view the status of my fan, if it is operating properly, the power, and the temperature. So what is the temperature level, everything I can access it from this particular page. And I also have graphical data also for this. And in case if something goes wrong, then obviously I will receive an alarm, so that I can immediately take a look on what went wrong and I can fix it accordingly. So I hope this feature will also be helpful for you. The next thing is SNMP traps. So SNMP traps is nothing but a passive monitoring mechanism, and this feature will also help you to monitor your remote devices, and you can basically get trap notifications automatically in case if some specific event is happening in your device, and all this is in real time. So it's not based on the polling interval which you configure in the device. So in case if you have the respective traps which is already ready, and if you wanted to configure this SNMP trap, then you can navigate to settings, monitoring. So here is where the SNMP trap functionality is present here. So here we have the default, we have a lot of default traps. For example, the temperature change in your Cisco devices or the fan status. In case if you wanted to add a new one, so you can just click on actions, you can click on add. So here you can choose the respective settings. That is, you can configure the trap OID, you can configure the failure component, as well as in case if you wanted to get alerts, then you can configure the threshold values also. And this can also be done. And in case if you have the MIB file, then you can create it by loading the respective MIB as also. So if I wanted to select the respective MIB, then I can choose the trap processor from the respective MIB also, and then start configuring the respective traps. So there are some other features as well here. So to which devices the trap monitoring needs to be enabled, you can configure the respective devices here, and you can also limit the respective traps which has been received on an hourly basis. So here you can also have trap viewer here. So in case if you wanted to view the live traps which is received, then you can choose the respective device name, And once you click on the start, then you can view the respective traps which is being received by the OpManager server. So similar to SNMP traps, we also have syslog monitoring, which is another passive monitoring mechanism. So in case if your devices are capable of sending syslogs to OpManager, then you can configure the respective rules in OpManager, and the alarms can also be raised as and when the incoming syslog matches the specified rule. So OpManager receives syslogs on the port 514 and 519. However, this is just a default port. These ports can also be customized and configurable. And you can also create many syslog rules depending upon your requirement. So how to access these syslog rules? So you can navigate to settings, monitoring. Similar to SNMP trap process, we also have syslog rules. So here we have some rules by default. However, if you wanted to create a one, you can click on this add icon and you can start creating the rule also depending upon the requirement which you wanted to accomplish. So here, in case if you wanted to change the syslog port, you can just click on syslog port here and you can change the port of in which OpManager receives the syslog. You can also check the live syslog flow rate by clicking on this flow rate tab also. So with this, we have almost come to an end, and we are going to see the last topic for the today's agenda, which is nothing but monitoring your other devices, such as your Meraki devices, your Meraki switches, your Meraki radio devices, your Cisco ACI devices, as well as IPMI. So OpManager also extends supports to all your Meraki devices also. So just by discovering the controller, all your devices such as security devices, your vision controllers, access points, everything can also be tracked. And we also have dedicated reports also for it. So how to access these? So you can go to network, wireless. So here both your Cisco WLC devices will also be listed as well as your Meraki will also. Here you can control in all devices. This will give you the complete station, Meraki switch or Meraki firewall or a Meraki vision controller. And once you click on the respective device, you get to view the complete statistics. So limited to Meraki alone, but most organizations software aligned networking as well, which but your SDN. So Cisco application network infrastructure, nothing but Cisco ACI. We also extend support to monitoring your ACI infrastructure as well, wherein you can monitor your complete components such as your fabric, your tenants, and your endpoints. So let me take you to one of the ACI devices which we have in our infra, and let me show you how the complete monitoring looks like. So this is one of our ACI device, so wherein it will give you the complete topology map. So the fabric devices which is connected, so the number of tenants which is connected, and the endpoint groups. So the complete data or the complete monitoring can be done using OpManager. And we also have a dedicated dashboard for Cisco ACI also. So moving on to the next part is the IPMI devices. So IPMI is nothing but intelligent platform management interface, and this has become an universal standard which has been supported by a majority of hardware vendors. So in OpManager, we have a dedicated tab for IPMI. So under service, we have IPMI. So wherein all your IPMI devices which is added will be monitored here. So you can access the respective device, and once you click on the hardware tab, you can get the complete details of your battery, the fan, the disk array data, memory, power, processor, temperature, and voltage. The complete hardware monitoring is also here. And you can also get the graphical data also. And thanks a lot for spending your time with